It's 2:01 Mountain Time. It's Friday, First Amendment Friday. It's July 17th, 2020. Tommy Goff, your morning mayor, is in the house from AM 1450 KMMS Radio in Bozeman, Montana. Shane is busted flat in Baton Rouge waiting for a train, so he will be here shortly. So we hope that he will join us. So as I'm going to have to be here by myself for a little while because Shane is looking for a train. As I said, he's busted flat in Baton Rouge, waiting for a train. So we hope that he will join us shortly once he gets his train and gets home. So, all right. Don't forget, hey, we're on tomorrow. We are on. Well, let's put that back up there, shall we? We are on tomorrow from 8 to 11 Mountain Time on KMMSAM.com. You can listen to us live if you're outside of our immediate listening area, and we hope that you will do that. Excuse me, got a runny nose today. Bruce is here. Thanks, Bruce, for joining us today. We appreciate that very much, and so we've got some other folks checking in as we go along. And also, you can listen to any of our previous shows. We just passed 5,000 downloads of our shows, and you can listen to any of those at KMMSAM.com as well. So get over there and check that out. And also, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, hey, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, comment, and like us on YouTube because, well, we need the exposure. we just do. So we appreciate all of you being here. Thanks very much for showing up. Our top story today, of course, is Justice Ginsberg says cancer has returned, but she won't retire as long as she can work at top speed. Now, here's a person who falls asleep during deliberation of cases. So I'm not sure what Ruth Bader Ginsburg's top speed is, but anyway, she says yeah. No, I don't have COVID-19, Bruce. Sorry, just a runny nose. So not coughing, not wheezing, any of that. Linda's here. How you doing, Linda? For his train to get back home was running late. Of course, she's in Canada, so what do you expect? So. But anyway, Justice Ginsburg simply will not go away. She will not retire. She will persevere on. As she is just not going to give Donald Trump the satisfaction of nominating a replacement for her. So if he's reelected, I don't know what she's going to do. She may live another 4 years. She may be just too mean to die. So I don't want to make a light of her condition, but you know what? She's beat cancer 3 or 4 times. She's had her gallbladder out. Man, oh man. I don't know. Bruce says, yeah, I'd fall asleep listening to a bunch of lawyers too. I don't blame you, Bruce. I feel the same way. They go on and on and on. So, but at any rate, Justice Ginsburg, she's in her high 80s, I believe. And boy, she is going to hang in there no matter what. And well, we wish her the best. We hope that she recovers. But I think it's time for her to considerably, for the good of the court, whether or not it's good for America or not, it's anybody's guess. But at least for the good of the court, I think it's time that she has done a great job over the years, you know, so whatever, I think it's time for her to, you know, go gracefully into the sunset, enjoy what time she has left, and, you know, give up the Supreme Court gig because it's, I don't know, it's just been too long for her. She's, you know, been in a lot of big cases. She's, you know, a lot of legislation has passed by her, but I think it's time that we moved on. But I can understand why she didn't want to leave because with a Senate controlled by the Republicans, that would mean that a conservative justice would probably take her place, and that would swing the 5-4 even further, and also it would eliminate the way Roberts has been kind of flip flopping here lately on some of these cases. The wife and I were talking about that earlier, and we were saying that the guy does follow the law. We don't always agree with his decisions, but he does seem to have he does seem to follow the law as it's written. So I don't know. It's going to be quite a story if she retires, or if she can't continue. We don't have that much time before the election, and everybody can throw up, well, you waited till after the election when we had Marin up there. So what's the deal? I mean, are you going to wait till after this election? I don't think there's enough time to confirm a Supreme Court justice if she were to step down right now. And of course, the closer it gets to the election, the less likely it is. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with her, and what the prognosis is of her latest bout with this liver cancer that has returned. And is there a chance that it's going to keep on coming back? Probably at her age, very likely. She beat pancreatic cancer. They had a removed a cyst from her pancreas, and there's about a 5% chance of getting away with that. But she beat that one, and now we're tackling liver cancer again. But you can also have a partial or a complete liver transplant. So it's, I don't know. But she certainly has helped to make a lot of law from the bench. She's one of the people on the court that pretty much interprets the law her way rather than the way it's written in the law books. I think she pretty well decides, let's see, if I bend this a little bit, it'll be okay. And I think that's kind of what she does. So I don't know. Yeah, I did, Bruce. I just got back from lunch. So see, I can do that here. I can't do it on the radio, but see, on the radio, I can cut my mic if I have to do that. So, Bruce is on top of me today. Thanks, Bruce, for pointing that out to everybody. We really appreciate it. I'm here burping up my lunch. So, always fun to have you guys here to keep track of me and what I'm doing. Well, in other news here, and the CDC has a new report. They say that the first cases of COVID-19 in New York City came from Europe and not from Wuhan, China. And Shane and I pointed that out before, that there was a strain that came from Europe, did not come from the other. But of course, they're picking on Trump that he didn't close everything off quick enough. It also shows stay-at-home orders, travel bans, and school closures all came too late to stop the outbreak in the Big Apple. But we also have to point out that Cuomo sent a lot of people back to, back to nursing homes, and that was not a good thing, for that area. Well, burping, phone ringing. Maybe I should. I'll turn that down. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong, right? Well, I am irrigating and can actually see you today. There you are. Well, you're just watering stuff, huh? Linda says that Ginsberg needs to retire and enjoy life, and that's what I suggested. That she has. Whatever time she has left, why not sit back and enjoy that? You don't need, you don't need this constant, lawyer stuff all the time. So why not just take it easy and enjoy yourself? Get out there and have a good time and whatever. But anyway, the CDC, we're talking about that. Trump issued a travel ban on China on February 2nd, but it wasn't until March 13th he placed restrictions on people coming from Europe. And the research shows cases were already rampant in New York by that time, with an estimated 1,170 undetected cases in the week starting on March 8th. And the CDC describes the finding as unanticipated, while Governor Cuomo said it was damning and proved key flaws in the president's handling of the crisis. Well, guess what? 2020 is always, hindsight's always 2020. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. We could have shut this down sooner. We were sitting around. We had 15 racing into New York City from Europe. So I don't know what the president was supposed to have done. What, shut the whole country down when we had 15 cases on a cruise ship? It's really easy to blast back on whoever is doing this. I mean, you can point back to you can go all the way back to the 1918 Spanish flu. That could have been handled differently in Philadelphia, but it wasn't. So, that's the consequence. So what do you, placing blame is really easy as to what should have been done, but where are we today? What are we doing today? And which would bring us to another interesting thing in the news today, that Senator Feinstein, of course, from California, she plans to deny funding to states with no mask mandates. So that's a bill she wants to get passed. So as you know, we have a no mask here in Montana, and there's several states that have mandated it. In our case here in Montana, it's only mandated in counties that have 4 or less cases. It doesn't apply to children under 5 and those with respiratory issues and things like that. And also if you're in a place that serves food or drink. So, yeah, they don't expect you to pull your mask down, grab your food, and then, pull it back up while you chew. So I don't know. But a lot of people are upset with the mandates here that are going on because, well, it's just another intrusion into our lives by government, as Shane often says. And for those of you who are just joining us wondering where Shane is, he is on his way. The train he was supposed to catch is running a little late, so hopefully he'll be here before the end of the show. But at any rate, as he has pointed out many times, that this virus, we had a strain coming from Europe, and we also had a strain coming from China that hit the China one hit California, and the other one, of course, hit into the East Coast. And they were 2 different strains from what some people are saying. So, when you look back on this and how it's going, we had cases went up to 77,000 today. I think the biggest day we've had so far in the United States. And Fauci predicted we may see 100,000 cases in a day. So this thing is obviously with us. And are we going to shut down again? I guess that depends on where you live and what's going on there. So hi to Jim. Jim joins us. Thanks for being here with us, Jim. Shane's on his way, hopefully. Maybe he'll find his way in here before the end of the show. And Jim says it's kind of like people don't want to wear masks and want to be independent. Then quit voting for people that want to make you socialistic. Yeah, that's very true. Well, it'd be interesting to see how this all plays out because, one of the things I was thinking about the other night, Shane and I were talking back and forth about the polls and everything, and Biden seems to be doing quite well in the polls and all of that, and Shane's a little hesitant to buy into that, and I don't blame him, actually, But one of the things that came up the other day is, do we have a bunch of secret Trump voters out there? And, we're people who are going to say, hey, I can't vote for, or I can't say I'm going to vote for Trump. I can't say I'm in favor of Trump's policies or whatever he's done or whatever, because, I'll be retaliated against. So we're wondering how many Trump voters are out there that are kind of hiding in the wings, waiting to pounce into the ballot box and reelect Trump president. Tom says, hi, Tom. Welcome to our show. Thanks a lot for being here, Tom. We appreciate it. But, the masks are an interesting situation here because, it's another intrusion of government into our lives. And Shane's pointed out from time to time that, they've cut off everything. They've cut off all of our freedoms. We can't get a haircut. We can't go to a bar. We can't go to a restaurant. Can't go to a gym. Can't go to a bowling alley or whatever, or get our nails done or hair done or whatever. So the silent voters that will vote for Trump, you're right. Plus, there may be some black vote in there as well. One of the things that's happening in all of these areas here where we see this unrest in Minneapolis and Portland and the various other cities around here, New York City, we had a attack there on Brooklyn Bridge just yesterday, and there is an awful lot of black people who want the same thing everybody wants. They want their kids home from school safe. They want to have a safe neighborhood. They don't want drug dealers on every corner. They don't want shootings everywhere and all of that. The question: running their cities, have they finally had enough, or are they going to continue to? Support the people that just haven't helped them at all? So that would be the big question. And as it gets closer to the election, I think more and more people are going to be wondering about this. Do I still want to support the party in my city that is allowing this? Minneapolis right now is just a rampant crime zone. I mean, there's no other way to do it. They've had 20 murders in 20 days, and the police, they've talked about defunding the police department there. In fact, they've talked about just getting rid of the police department altogether in Minneapolis. And the citizens there are going, hey, what is wrong with you? We got crime on every corner. There's open drug deals. Nobody's trying to hide anything anymore. Assaults are up, burglaries are up, robberies are up, car thefts are up. Almost everything in the city has increased by a significant margin. So where is this going to end? And when are the people of Minneapolis going to say, hey, you know what? We have no leadership here at all. It's stupid to get rid of the police department. I mean, we're seeing that right now. If you're afraid to go out of your house and I know you've seen on TV what the woman walk along with a stroller and a guy just walks by and grabs her around the neck, throws her down, takes her purse. People are shooting each other just for the fun of it. Guy shoots a guy walking across the street holding the hand of his little girl. I mean, where does this all end? Linda says one problem with the virus has been false information. And people wonder on who to choose. It comes down to personal responsibility. And I would agree with that too. I would think that's the case with all of us, that we need to act responsibly with this thing, but you can't let a mob rule. A small amount of people rule your life or take over. Trash your freedoms. It just doesn't work that way. And we're seeing it firsthand every night on TV. People are shot, nightly. Chicago is a war zone. Minneapolis is a war zone. Portland is a war zone. The police, they have no backup from the leaders of their city. So what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to go out there and put their life on the line when the city officials have more or less given carte blanche to criminals? And we're seeing that in Minneapolis. We're seeing it in Portland. Portland tried to set up their own autonomous zone. That didn't work. Thankfully, they were rooted out of there. And President Trump has offered help to any of these cities, but they've all turned it down. I mean, why? Well, the reason is very simple: votes. Votes is the answer. Yeah. If I bring law and order into the city, I'm going to lose the black vote and maybe the Hispanic vote, and I'll certainly lose the MS-13 vote. So there we are. That's pretty much what we're sitting on right now, and it's going to get worse before it gets better, because we're going to have. We're going to have people out on the street. Criminals will be out on the street later, because of the, it's going to be lighter, and they're going to be out on the street, and they're going to be able to do whatever they want to do, because you call 911 and no one's going to show up. So is that really the kind of community you want to live in? And I think a lot of these folks that live in these inner city areas are going to finally wake up and say, hey, you know what? These leaders that we've been electing for year after year after year don't really care that much about us. And, they're assuming our support. They're assuming we're going to vote for them because we always have. Well, maybe it's time for them to wake up and discover that this isn't business as usual when it comes to our vote or creed or national origin or whatever we are, that we're not aligned with one party only. And that's, and I hope these cities start to wake up, and as Bruce points out, MS-13 illegal alien gangbangers led into the country, just open borders. Come on in, guys. No problem. They did arrest one of the leaders of like 5 or 6 states the other day, I guess, finally. And they are starting to crack down on this MS-13. But still in all, we're still sitting here with, how many of these folks are we going to let run rampant on the, on the street? We had the case where the guy in the tenement house was not only beheaded but cut up in pieces and put in garbage bags on the street. I mean, that's what they do. They don't just kill you. They are very vicious. You'll die slowly at the hands of anybody from MS-13. So just make that be sure that you realize that if you're going to talk to any of them. Maybe Dems will have less votes if they're killing each other. Well, that may be true, Sandy. I don't know. But Jim says the cities have been promised year after year after year that Democrat candidates are going to take care of them, and they absolutely don't do a thing. They talk a lot. That's why I like Trump. He actually did what he said he would do, and regardless of whether you like it or not. And that's very true. And I think a lot of the people are looking at President Trump with maybe a new perspective, especially, when you're offering help to inner cities where people want law and order, and then the city leaders turn it down. So I don't know. But anyway, according to some estimates, 52% of the people strongly disapprove of Trump's coronavirus handling. Well, let me ask you this. Who would have handled it better? Or who would have handled it at all? Or who would have handled it, the way you would like for it to? Hindsight is always 20/20. Come on. You look back on this, there's a lot of things in America that we should have done differently. And if we had it to do over again, with the knowledge we have now, we would have made other arrangements. But I don't think you can blame the president for, the president acted when he thought he could. He was vilified for the travel bans. Oh, you're racist. You're xenophobic. You're all of these, adjectives. And, the people we're getting sick of it. We're getting sick of these so-called leaders coming out and saying, well, masks are okay today. No, they're not okay tomorrow. And this vaccine works. This vaccine doesn't. Oh, wait a minute. We flip-flop that. The first one that didn't work now works and the other one doesn't. Well, I'm sorry. With all the information that we've had on this whole thing, is it any wonder that nobody believes any of these people anymore? You can't believe anything they tell you because it changes every other day. But the one thing that doesn't change is that these cities, with Black Lives Matter, Antifa, communists, name it what you want, there's no question these cities are out of control. And defunding the police? Are you nuts? Who thought that would be a good idea? And why do all these city leaders, go along with it? Well, it's really simple. We don't want to alienate the people that are protesting because, oh my God, we might not, be reelected, and we can't keep fleecing them like we have for years and years and years. So I don't know. Anyway. Dead people vote Democrat, according to Bruce. And Jim says Trump has left a lot to the states. Wrong choice. 50 different opinions. This needs to be hit head on. Mask for everyone. And Bruce says, yeah, Dr. Fauci can't make up his mind. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. He keeps changing it every time you turn around. At first, had masks. Well, okay. All the people had masks. So there you are. Why not? So, sounds good to me. Let's have some, let's make sure everybody has a mask. Well, I don't know. There we are. And, it keeps on going here. A man was shot dead in Atlanta after he and another resident went to investigate a power outage at one of the guy's homes. I mean, I don't know if they were being broken into or what, or if they cut the power line or whatever, but it never ends. On the way over here to do the show, Sean Hannity was talking about somebody that. A woman sitting out in front of a friend's house. A guy opens the door and shoots her in the head. 25 years old. She's dead. No reason. Just walking by and, oh, there's somebody I can shoot. So I don't know, man. It's getting to the point where it's a little bit out of control. Linda says Trump has been blamed for everything. I am tired of him being bashed daily. If you want law and order, country, vote Trump. Ennis town in Montana, Bruce says, Ennis town has put police and ambulance up for cuts here. I can't believe that, Bruce. I can't believe in a small town like Ennis, and you got what, 5,000, 6,000 people over there, or if you have that many, I don't know. But I don't know. Just made it mandatory in Colorado, Jim says, that wear a mask everywhere. And I missed the beginning of the show. Where's Shane? Okay. Well, Shane's busted flat in Baton Rouge waiting for a train. He gave me a call. He had an appointment this morning, and we're not sure. He wasn't sure if he was going to be back for the show, but we're hoping he'll be back before the end of it, which is a half hour from now or so. But, that's where Shane is. He's not under the weather or sick or anything. He's just waiting for a train to get home and get on the air with us. So he'll be here as soon as he can. So So, and Bruce points out the guy, the woman that shot was pregnant, by the way. So you get 2 for 1, I guess. So I don't know, this endless violence that's going on across the country, and nobody is screaming, "Where's the police?" Nobody is screaming. Nobody's taken to the streets saying "fund the police," other than they tried to in New York. And what did they get? They got demonstrators showing up with baseball bats and bricks and everything else to beat the hell out of them. And so, I don't know. It's a, I don't know. When is somebody going to stand up? You've got to. I'm really missing that the Democrats haven't said, "Hey, we don't go along with this." We're for the law-abiding black citizens. We're not for Black Lives Matter. We're not for this group, that group, or any other group. And that's where we are today. And look who's here.
I made it.
Hey.
Yeah,
there you are.
Yeah, left this morning at 7:30, and I just got back. Yeah, what an adventure!
Well, good for you. Well, you made half the show, so I've just been up my mouth here for half an hour.
104/78 blood pressure. I haven't had it done in 6 months. Of course, I go to my London Drugs, but those machines, you got to be careful.
Yeah, you can't trust that.
Yeah.
So you're okay, right? You went for a heart checkup, right?
Yeah, it's like an ultrasound. It's like they check your heart out and they send it off to a radiologist to look at, and then he calls my heart doctor and he calls me, hopefully. And but I've done this for 22 years since my first heart in '98.
I'm gonna say you've had about 25 heart attacks, haven't you, or something like that?
Well, I had a blood clot in my lower left ventricle, and that's why they put me on warfarin on the wall of the left side of my lower left ventricle, and so the warfarin dissolved it and it went away, and then years later they did another echocardiogram, and another one was back, and so back on the warfarin, rat poison. And then 2 years later, it had calcified and, turned into a little piece of bone on the lower left wall of my lower left ventricle.
Yeah.
So that bad boy's been with me for a number of years. Got to check out, make sure, it doesn't dislodge because certainly it won't dissolve now that it's calcified. Yeah.
Well, all right. Everybody's happy to see you. Dan says, good afternoon. Bruce says, Tom's getting hoarse from talking solidly. I have.
Yeah, really. You're losing your voice
out here.
Hi, Linda. Hi, Bruce. Dan. You guys, it's great to see you guys all here. So what have I missed? Man is shot dead by 1 or 2 guns.
Yeah. We were talking about that. Well, we've been talking mostly. The other thing, a couple things you missed. Dianne Feinstein wanted to. She wants to deny funding for any states that don't do a mask, and we also talked about the Americans don't approve of Trump's handling of the virus, and also there's a report that the New York came from Europe, and that he didn't shut down Europe quick enough.
It was only 4 days later.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, New York became rampant before he shut it down.
Yeah, right. And who's the governor that killed everyone?
Yeah. Right.
So he turned the tanker around in a small harbor in the first 3 years and saved your economy. Then you get hit with this, and he heals your economy. It's funny. Hannity kept saying, if Trump discovered the cure for cancer, no one would give him credit.
I know.
It's going to happen. You're not going to keep, going to give him credit for curing your country. Then he's going to save your economy again before he gets elected. I mean, who is this guy?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Jim says if COVID causes blood clotting, why wouldn't it be a good idea to take an excuse me. Bruce, I think, pointed out my burping from my lunch. I had to run back here right after lunch. I'm burping
Yeah,
up
well,
my.
at least you're not that congressman from California that farts on live television, right?
I know, yeah, that's what I need. Anyway, if COVID causes blood clotting, why would it be a good idea to take an aspirin every day or every other day at 325? I take it because I have AFib and don't like the blood thinners that my modern pharmacy has come up with. So, well, all of us are on blood thinners, I guess. I am as well. I have a clotting issue. So, yeah.
Well, let me tell you, Jim, warfarin was developed by the Wisconsin agriculture, blah, blah, blah. It's an anagram to kill rats because they want to get them out of the grain, the grain silos without, destroying the grain. So they came up with this poison. Works so well on rats, which are the closest rodent to humans. They tested on humans to find out because it thins their blood. So if they overate, if the rats overate it, they get thirsty. Then they'd run out and gorge on water, and then they'd explode. So,
Yeah.
That's what humans do. It just thins our blood, so it flows through the heart. Like in my, yeah, I started out with a heart attack in '98, and I had a near-death experience in September of '98, having an angiogram. They changed the fluid that they pump into you that shows up, the radioactive fluid, and 1 in 100,000 people be allergic to it. Well, guess what? I was. So I died. I was gone for 4 minutes. They came back, woke up, smelling burnt hair, looked down. They were in such a hurry they didn't put the plastic or rubber things on my chest. They just just drop them on them and burn these two big squares on my chest. Smelling my burning hair.
Of course.
The first words back, the first words back from my near-death experience were, "What the hell is that smell?" So there you go. Oh yeah. Now here's the great thing though. So the reason I had my first heart attack and this angiogram told them that my right coronary artery was 95% closed. They didn't open me up and give me a bypass or put a stent in because 95% closed. But my DNA, which is great, it rocks my life. Grew while my coronary artery was clogging up. My body naturally grew what they call a corollary artery. So I naturally replaced my coronary artery. Now this, folks, this is like 1 in a million. Like, I should buy lotto tickets. Oh, I do buy lotto tickets. I do.
Yeah. Okay.
See, I'm all hyped up and rattled from.
I know. I was going to say, did they give you caffeine there or what?
No, but I did have a big coffee this morning when I took off at 7:30. Yeah. Well,
all right. So, well, good. Well, we're glad you're here because otherwise,
I made the show. I'm so proud of myself. Like now, you can't dock me. You can't say you missed the show.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I don't know.
Better than none, right?
That's right. Well, we're glad you're here anyway. We're glad you're okay and everything turned out all right for you. So that's where we are. The other thing we talked about, you probably heard Ginsberg has got cancer again on her liver yet one more time, and
on her liver now.
Yeah, it's on the liver now. So yeah.
I mean, she's 88. Give me a break.
I know.
Modern science is keeping her alive. We don't know if she's really laying in a bed with all kinds of tubes hooked up to her.
Well, I know. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And she says, she says, I'm not going to retire as long as I can do this job full steam. She falls asleep during deliberations. Come on, full steam? Are you kidding me?
And just to comment on what you have here, on the liner down below. Guys, look, the CDC told us, remember at the beginning, February, March, this is a stable virus. Turns out April, February, March, and April, it's not stable. And the virus that went to Europe, it changed and went to New York, and which is why Trump shut down Europe to the eastern part of the United States. Now, the virus from China was the original virus, wasn't that strong. It got to Washington, as we all know, first in those homes, and then didn't hit anyone in California, really. People adapted to it. And it's the same one we have here. So in the last 4 weeks, we've had people from the World Health Organization, WHO, I was going to protest and say, "Who are you?" and go home, but you got to get a permit and all that. I'm not. And then the CDC showed up because they've taken 6 weeks of blood samples, of people's blood, to find out why we're so flat and we have such great numbers and we have a huge recovery rate. Our recovery rate's like 95%. Like, it's pretty huge.
Yeah. Well, it is, and that's what there's been all kinds of things about. Well, it looks like even the New York Times does a great job of keeping track of this in all the states. They really do a good job of it. It's one of the few things they do well. It's about the only thing they do well. But
now, let's be nice.
But at any rate,
they have those stage 5 level labs. Let's be nice. Come on.
Well, they just report whatever is reported to them is what they do. So, whatever the health departments claim, that's what they put up on their website. But one of the things they talk about is that there's no real way, because of the autopsies and the amount of time it takes from death to whatever, we don't know how many people died directly from the virus, or if they, if the virus was just a contributor and made something weakened in their heart gave out, their kidney gave out, liver gave out, whatever gave out.
I'm not a doctor, but I've read a shitload of medical information all my life, and my daughter's in the medical field, so I can't be proud of that. But I have a theory. This is my theory. North America, our countries, our great country clubs, are so diversified. One of those diversities, we're all mongrels. We're all mixed races, right?
We're Heinz 57.
but it's reality to the rest of the world. So most countries, like European countries and Asian countries, aren't. So their DNA
very homogenized.
We're very homogenized. So I think that's helped us. I think that's helped us with the herd immunity that's possibly going to happen. So that's my theory. Do you have a theory?
Well, I tend to agree with you. I think that you're right on there. So, I think we're in the same ballpark there. So, but
I got to hydrate. I ran the last 100 yards just to get here as quickly as I could. So.
Yeah, but that was something to see.
It was 84 degrees out, and I didn't have time to put a shirt and tie on. I just buttoned up my collar. But I want you all to know I'm sweating. Just for all of you, I'm sitting here sweating. It's not pleasant.
I'm sitting here sweating too because it's hotter than heck here as well.
Yeah, summer came again today, so I'm a happy man.
Yeah, I'm in my finely tuned office here, and I can't open any windows because of the noise outside. Barking dogs, cars going by, trucks going by, whatever.
You live in a normal neighborhood, Tom? I thought things weren't normal in Minnesota.
Well, it's a semi-normal neighborhood. It's it's not a slow neighborhood. It's not a fast neighborhood. It's just a half-fast neighborhood. So.
Hey, Bruce, I'm not cold-blooded, okay? I'm warm-blooded. If you want to talk to Elizabeth, go watch CNN or MSN. All those people are lizards on. They're all cold-blooded.
That's true. They are cold-blooded over there. That's for sure. People are saying the antibodies, we already have them from previous flus, an account of them in COVID-19. So I guess 34 degrees Celsius, 82.
Yeah, exactly.
By advanced calculus,
the golden rule, or whatever you want to call it, the golden chalice, whatever. I mean, for 1,000 years, for a millennium, it has been herd immunity. That's what saved mankind from viruses. And I mean, did you see that story this week about the bubonic plague?
Yeah, we got a couple of those running around. I know.
What the hell's a squirrel? They don't eat nuts. You'd have to. He must have been hungry. He was out eating some dead animal and picked up.
I guess,
bubonic plague.
Well, you never know about squirrels.
Yeah, that's why they're called squirrels.
Well, they're nutty. I guess.
They're around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They are sly folks. Yeah,
they are sly folks. Yeah. So, one other thing we talked about, Shane, earlier. Another thing that came up this week was the secret Trump voters.
The split Trump voters.
Secret Trump voters.
Oh yeah, yeah, the silent majority. Yeah, they don't want to use the same term because they got it. They got the DNC, call this morning, and it's split voters. But it's a silent majority. That's why this election looks a lot like '68. I mean, there's a similarity. I mean, that's why I'm excited to see how the,
like
riding
16.
it. Huh?
Not 68, 16.
No, 1968, Nixon.
Oh,
And,
Nixon. Nixon silent majority.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, he was the guy that that's his quote.
Yeah.
Anyway, the bottom line is that Wisconsin clearly is going to be a viral event and visual event, and the Demolition Party will save itself from probably riots and Black Lives Matter because gosh knows they're not having a convention live because of Black Lives Matter and Antifa because they would have been there. We know this. Come on.
Oh yeah. Nope. We can't. What we want is we don't want Black Lives Matter at our Democrat convention. We want them at the Republican convention in Jacksonville, if they have it in Jacksonville.
So does your president does. I mean, it's
well, yeah.
I mean, it would be a gift. It would be
the more the better.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The more you burn and loot at our convention, the better it is.
The better it is. It is. Now we're not going to add to the bonfire, but maybe we'll put up wooden fences instead of and then a wire fence behind.
We'll pull up with truckfuls of kerosene for you.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah. That's right. It's the Burning Man. Ever been Burning Man in the desert? Great experience.
Haven't been. Yeah.
I caught that back in the 70s. It was wild.
Well, yeah. Well, back then it would have been.
It was.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So.
But the one thing in my life that was wilder than that was my trip down the Colorado River, down the Grand Canyon. That was 11 days of partying. Whoa.
Yeah. Bruce says Nixon versus Johnson or McGovern. I don't think Johnson ran, so it would have been McGovern, I think.
McCarthy, remember he had to take and make his acceptance speech on the Thursday night in Chicago at 11 o'clock at night. No, and he picked Eagleton as his vice president.
Right? Yeah.
He had electrical shock, so then they had to replace him with a somewhat Kennedy. Oh. A guy married in the Kennedy family.
Right, yeah. Sergeant
that's
Shriver.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, if we can't get Johnson, let's get a Kennedy.
That's right. And that was the only state that they took was Massachusetts, and that was a famous sticker, car sticker that says, "Don't blame me, I'm Massachusetts." Yeah, there were people they sold. Yeah, Democratic Party made more money on that bumper sticker than anything else in that year. It was
pretty good. So,
and that was after the election.
That's true. Yeah. Well, we wonder if there is, as I pointed out before, you put a Trump bumper sticker on your car and you may get broken windows or, your car keyed or whatever. Or put a Trump yard sign up. It's going to be stolen.
That's right. And what does that tell all your liberal neighbors?
Yeah.
I'm going to vote Trump. Okay. I don't want my car keyed. I don't want my car dug
That's
up.
right. Yeah.
The bumper sticker after this election is going to be "We won again."
Yeah.
And only it's the ONE. Okay.
Yeah.
We won.
Yeah. Right.
Not
yeah.
It'll be
Not
ONE.
Yeah.
We won.
Well, yeah. Well, I've got a American flag on my deck and a Montana flag on my deck, and across the street, the guy's got an American flag, and the guy east of me has an American flag. So, they're not going to come into our neighborhood, I don't think.
Well, I have a Canadian flag, and it's really upsetting me because it's when it's raining, it's great, it's heavy, but when it's sunny and hot like this, it's wavy. And I have these lilies that are coming up. bulbs, and they're beautiful white liliums that they blossom. The smell is great, and they're like 4 feet high. And I've got like 32 bulbs that are going to turn in,
Yeah.
and the dang flag keeps waving into them. They're going to snap because of that darn flag.
Well, raise the flag. Raise the flag.
It's on a golden pole. Only sticks so far off my deck. I can't, extend it any further.
Well, put a pallet or two under it.
I was thinking about hanging some plastic, around it, like a dog, one of those dog things.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
But nah,
Yeah.
I'll let
Tie a balloon to it. Tie a balloon to it. The flag.
Red, white, and blue ones. That's what I'll tie.
Well, you got the marijuana symbol on the flag anyway, so
it's one leaf away.
I know it is. That's what I say. I was going to say you can't tell the difference between how's that marijuana working out for you in Canada anyway. You making lots of money off that deal?
No, they're not, and it's terrible, and people are complaining about it, and they still haven't opened up the number or granted the number of licenses. I mean, it's government run. What do you expect?
I was going to say, yeah. Why not put organized crime in charge? They know how to do it. The government. I don't know what is that golden what?
The street dope is better than the new dope. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. James says, move the flowers, Shane. Just put the flowers somewhere else. Dig them up and move them over a little bit. That sounds like a lot of work, but
my garden. All right, I'm just. I'm bloviating. We only have 8 minutes.
Well, don't give them Miracle Grow. Give them the cheap stuff.
All you people out there that drink coffee, do not waste the grinds.
Throw them on your plants.
Garden.
Yeah.
Yep. Huge natural fertilizer. Your roses will bloom so bright you will go, what? Look at these colors. Yeah, it's great stuff. No, seriously. Lift that filter out.
I've heard the eggshells. I don't know. I've heard you
eggshells work.
Throw all kinds of stuff in your oysters. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have a lot of oysters in my house. I don't think so.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's too bad.
Yeah, all your oysters are not. Rocky Mountain ones are okay, but the ones out of the sea, I don't think so.
Well, there's so many types. It depends,
Well, it doesn't matter. If they came out of the sea, they ain't getting near me.
I think if I cooked oysters and served them to you, like masterfully, which being a chef I can, you would eat them and you go, wow, that's pretty good.
Breaded shrimp is about as far as I go.
Well, you like poached eggs?
Like what?
Poached eggs.
Yeah.
No, you would like.
Whether an oyster is like a poached egg.
It depends on
I thought they taste like chicken.
Well, it's all protein. It actually, you need 3 eggs for the amount of protein you get in a oyster of equal size.
Okay, I'll go for the 3 eggs. Thank you very much.
That's like 5 ounces of protein. That's all you need in a day. 5 ounces. Yeah.
I eat way more protein than that. Yeah.
Yeah, you could wear an omelet under each arm and no one would know.
Yeah. Linda says there are a lot of the governor of Illinois, Prickster, suck signs around here. What does that say? Lots of Trump signs and not one Biden sign. Go figure, poll watchers. Well, in some areas it's safe to put out your Trump signs.
Yeah, he's a billionaire and his family backed Obama all the way.
Yeah.
And they did buy a place from Hawaii. Didn't like it because he thought the optics would be bad. And so he took the money from the sale of that and bought his place, out in Martha's Vineyard where he's right at home because all of his buddies are in the neighborhood.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That or Hollywood.
Yeah. You talking about the governor of Illinois?
No, I'm saying the Pritzkers of Illinois, the heirs to the Hilton. He's a billionaire. The heirs to the Hilton hotel chain, and they were big backers of Obama from the very beginning.
Oh, okay. Because I'm pretty sure he's a Republican, isn't he?
No, he's a Democrat. His wife was a member of Obama's cabinet.
Okay. Linda, help me out. I think he's Republican, but anyway, doesn't matter. I guess not.
I'm talking about the governor of Illinois.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay. So, all right. Well, he sucks anyway. Whether he's Republican or a Democrat, he still sucks.
by the way, I want everyone to know, just to make you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So we have the longest above ground rail system in the world. Okay.
Yes. I know you do. Yeah.
At 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning, rush hour, nobody on it, literally. No
Oh, yeah?
masks, maybe 8%. The bus is empty, like normally packed, like sardine cans, like in Tokyo where they push you in, right? Nobody, there maybe 20 people on the bus. No, I wore a mask because, I'm old, incidental, and I have heart disease. So
Mhm.
with preconditions alone, I should wear a mask anyway.
Yeah.
But having said that, it's pretty remarkable. Very little traffic, no one downtown. I went to the North Shore, which is called North Vancouver. Brand new hospital there, beautiful hospital. Although they killed me once already. But having said that, nobody there. Like very strange, very strange. And I met some nurses because I had to wait because I got there a little bit early.
Yeah.
And talking to them about the COVID issue, and they're not happy with the system, folks.
Yeah. You're right. Pritzker is a Democrat. You're right.
And
For
they're
some
not
reason,
happy with the.
some reason I thought he was Republican, but he isn't. So,
Okay.
all right.
I'm your muse. I'm here to make you good. I'm here to make you better as your muse.
Boy, the first half hour was just disastrous without you, because
Oh, yeah, right.
I probably said 100 wrong things during that half hour without you here to correct me. So keep me honest. Anyway, well, you can listen to my rant and ramble on the replay.
I love it, Jim. I've always.
I gave you a lot of credit in my rant too, by the way. Thank you very much.
Well, I always give you credit, Eagle.
Well, I know. I just want to tell you I return the favor.
Yeah, that's good, Jim. I like to try and try to figure out how to electrify my lights, and the reason is rats. I mean, there's something in the plastic. They nod on it, right? And they nod until they get shocked. Of course,
well, don't you have warfarin around the house?
No traps. No, my nephew is the king of rat traps.
You're gonna feed him warfarin?
No, he put peanut butter on his rat traps. He gets double headers. I'm not kidding.
Ooh, I bet, yeah.
Double headers. Like,
well, you know what they say? It's the second rat that gets the cheese.
Or in this case, the butter. The butter.
Yeah. Bruce says, I keep you honest, Tom. Linda says I did a great job. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate it very much. So, hey, all of our folks here are good here on First Amendment Friday. So, well, we're glad you finally made it to us, and we're glad you're in good health and okay, because otherwise, God, it's been so long since I've worked alone. I had to go back into single mode.
Yeah, Tom the ghostwriter. This is something last year when we got together for Tom and Shane. Or evening with Tom. And I just want to show everyone because I'm very proud of it. And
yeah, you got your Swiss Army knife.
Swiss Army knife, yeah.
Yeah, I have the same one, only it's red. I have a red one. You got a blue one, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm. You guys all call me socialist, so I get the blue one, and you get the conservative one. You
Well, John Hefner's just checking in, an old friend of mine. Unfortunately, John, we just started at 2. We're getting ready to go. But thanks for checking in. You can always hear the replay.
Or download it.
Yeah, download it. Yeah. We're over 5,000 downloads of our shows, and we're very grateful to everybody for that. And we really appreciate that very much. 5,000 was when I first put this thing up. I was looking around, and some of the people had 1,400 downloads, and I thought, wow, how will we ever get to 1,400 downloads? Well, we got to 5,000 pretty quickly, so not too bad. So we really appreciate you guys helping us out with that.
Okay, I'm this is a tease for Monday because you want to tell everybody you got to see our show Monday because I'm gonna ramp up the story tomorrow. I've got a cure for the crime in your country. This is gonna be cure. We cured the college debt problem, and
Yeah.
they're halfway. They're halfway there. The president has canceled the interest rate on them,
Yeah.
which is good, and you should leave it that way. It just needs to add to it, like we said. Now, after a year of showing that you can make like a 5-10% payment, we'll give you a federal loan. Roll what you owe into that to buy a house,
Yeah.
and bam, a year from now, 1.5 billion off your debt. It's a great idea. Anyway, got another one to solve the
Social
crime in
Security.
your country.
Oh, crime.
No,
Yeah, we got to solve the crime. Yeah.
I have a crime solution. This is mine. So well, it's got to be first tomorrow on our show because it's live radio.
Okay.
And we want to talk about Virgin, not what you're thinking, but the airline. Only airline went to the street and raised 1.2 billion pounds, not dollars, pounds.
Wow.
And to stay alive and keep flying. So yeah, that's Brendan is a pretty good guy. No, what is it? What's his name? The guy that started Virgin Records and Virgin Airlines. Starts with a B. President. Go ahead. Whatever.
Come on. I know who he is.
Yeah. I just don't have to.
As soon as you said it, went away. Yeah.
I know. Branson.
Branson. That's it. Branson. Yeah.
Lake Missouri. Ever been to Branson, Missouri? Great place. Lots of.
I have been. I have been there.
You have? Oh
Yeah.
my God. And you've never told us that you've been to Branson, Missouri?
Well, it wasn't Branson like it is now.
Oh, this is before is this back in the 50s or 60s or what? The 70s?
This was in when would it have been? It would have been 72 or 3 or 4, somewhere in there.
Yeah, because they didn't start building it towards the end of the 80s.
Yeah, there was no nightclubs or famous singers or anything there. It was just a vacation place. It was just a vacation place. Yeah.
Only you can miss one of the most cultural iconic tourism places in your country.
Well, I want
you got to give the Eagle Man credit.
Yeah.
He may always be early, but he's never late. I'm the only one, and I'm sorry I was late today.
That's okay. Hey, I went to Disneyland before it was Disneyland. Yeah, it was just a vacant lot. Vacant lot. So
yeah, I was out on one of those fan boats in the down in Florida before Orlando.
I've been to Clearwater, so I got something going. I have swam in both oceans, Pacific and Atlantic.
Wow, that's pretty good. I've swam 4, so I'm pretty good.
Well,
Well, 2 seas and 4 oceans. So,
you're
the Caribbean Sea, and then Atlantic, Pacific, Indian. Anyway.
Well, you're ahead of me in heart attacks, thankfully. So.
Yeah, but I'm still here too. I mean, I get credit for that.
All right. If you want more of this frivolity, hey, we're on the air tomorrow. Tom and Jane on the air Saturday, 8 to 11 Mountain Daylight Time. We're on at KMMSAM.com. Just click on Listen Now, and you'll be taken right over there to us. And you can call us. You can talk to us like regular people. Pretty interesting, and we've got 3 hours tomorrow. So, hey, join us. And if you missed any of our previous shows, they're also at KMMSAM.com. You can listen to all of our previous shows. Our 5,000 plus downloads are all over there. Video and audio is available there, so you can check that out. And if you're watching us right now on YouTube, well, guess what? You need to subscribe and comment and like us on YouTube, because we are commentable, we are likable, and we are certainly subscribable. So you need to do all 3. Just click on the little button down in the right-hand corner down there. Yeah, click on that little button down there, and we'll be there. So, all right.
Well, I'm going to take a shower and get ready for tomorrow.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you're on it really quickly.
Yeah. In the meantime, everyone, thank you for being here. I'm sorry I was late. Be happy, be safe, live in the moment, live to work. God bless us all in the USA and Canada, and thank goodness that we live in the 2 best country clubs in the world.
Amen. Thank you, Shane. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you getting here for the last half of the show. Really appreciate that. And don't forget, we are on tomorrow, 8 to 11 Mountain Time, KMMSAM.com. All views are welcome here, and you know what? If you think it there's a damn good chance we'll say it here. So we'll see you tomorrow on the radio, Monday on Facebook. Bye for now.